Okay, so let me share my screen. So what were we doing? Discussing about business rules, right? So we'll take a scenario and we'll try to write a business rule. I'll go to any employee. Okay, so here we have personal information. Okay, and we'll try to add some details or we'll try to default some details. So employee has got first name, last name, gender, nationality, okay, and citizenship. Nationality and citizenship, these fields are made mandatory. Okay, these fields are made mandatory. Let me go and make them optional. All of these fields, see NOC wedding date. What if employee single? We cannot have a wedding date, right? Manage business configuration. So how do we manage the fields of a people profile? Should go to manage business configuration or you should go to succession data model. So instead of succession data model, I'll do it from the instance itself through manage business configuration. So if they are custom fields, I'll just delete them. I'm not bothered about it. Okay, age, I'll just delete them. Citizenship, I'll just delete it. Okay. Date of birth, this is not mandatory. Nationality is mandatory. I'll make it optional. And gender is mandatory, that's fine. First name, last name, gender. Okay, that's fine. So now I go here, cancel this, refresh. Personal information. Right? Yeah, these fields are not mandatory now. Okay. One more thing. First, it should be personal information. I'll just drag and drop. I'll add it here. And within personal information, okay. Is field adjustment. First name was showing up here, right? I've just adjusted the sequence. First name, last name, and then full name. Come back, refresh. Okay. Now if I see personal information is starting from here, and the first field that we have is first name, last name, and then full name, gender, marital status, suffix, nationality is mandatory. So I'll just add nationality. Date of birth is mandatory. This is also fine. I'll try to add nationality as well. What does suffix value have? Suffix doesn't have any values. Let me go to job information. There's no, you don't have those many fields to update there. Job information, hiring record. Okay, so here we have employee type. Have employee type. If employee is regular, I want employee type to be updated as salaried staff. This one. I want to update it as salary staff. Okay. And if it is contractor, I want employee type to be updated as contractor pay. Okay. So that's the condition what we want to achieve. Here, the base object is job information or job information model. Okay. And the condition should be if and then. When do you want this to be updated? If this field, regular temporary field value is equal to regular. If it is equal to regular, then I want to set, what field you want to set? I want to set employment type. Employment type to be equal to salaried staff. Okay, so this is what I want to achieve. If you have a regular field value, regular temporary as regular, then I want system to update employment type to salaried staff automatically. That's my condition. That's my scenario. So let's go to configure business rule. This is first rule, simple rule. We'll go configure business rule screen, this one. And if these are the existing business rules, and if you want to have your own business rule, just go click on add. Since business rules can be configured for all of the modules, we see all of the modules here. And we want to write a business rule in Employee Central. So expand Employee Central core. Then you have rule scenario categories. These are all scenario categories. Like, what is the business rule that you want to write? Is it for hire and rehire process, or is it for event reasons? Is it for workflows? Is it for generating the employee ID? So what is the business rule that you want to write? So I want to write my business rule for updating employee data. It can be in job information, it can be in personal information, or it can be in comp information. So you need to find out the best scenario. Okay, so let's see that. What do we have? We have assignment ID external, generating the ID. This is not that rule. Generating employee ID for hire rehire, rules for hire rehire, trigger on init rules for hire rehire, generate employee central alerts. We don't want to generate any alerts here. This is for event reasons. Rehire with new employment, trigger workflows, display internal job history portlet, validate HRIS element. This is close to that, but we are not validating the data. We want to update the data. Okay. Calculate full-time equivalent, trigger post-save rules, trigger cross-entity rules, on-change rules, on-save rules. Now, this is close to what we want to achieve. It says trigger on-save rules for HRIS elements. That means whenever you save the record, if you want some data to be updated, that is on-save rule. Okay, select this, trigger on-save rules. And on the right-hand side, You see the rule name, rule ID, start date. Now my rule name, I'll put it as RIL job information. I want to update EMP type. Okay, that's the rule. Base object is go search for job information. F job information model. Select this and continue. Okay, now this is business rule screen. Here we would be writing the logic. We have if and then. If and then. Parameters, we have selected the base object, job information, and basic information we have already given the rule name and rule ID. Rule to default employee, what is it? Employment type based on regular or temporary. Okay, this is what I want to achieve. Now, if you want, you can also update the details here. Basic information, parameters. In parameters, we have the base object as job information model. So here we have if and then conditions. And if you don't want to check any if condition, you have the option of always true. If you select always true, the rule is always true. You don't have to define any if, it can directly go and update then statement. But I want to have my if condition. If, because we have selected job information of the base as the base object, you will see all the fields of job information here. Under job information, you see business unit, company, cost center, department. These are alphabetically ordered. So these are the fields of job information. If regular temporary are, so go here, you see the regular temporary. Expand and say whether you want to check with the previous value or the current value. Whatever that is existing in the screen, that is the current value. If regular temporary value, as soon as we select the field, system gives us the options here. Is equal to, is not equal to, value. What value you want to check? What value you want to check? Regular temporary has got values of regular and temporary, right? You go select regular. You just have to choose from the drop down. If regular temporary value is equal to regular, eye icon. Once you click on eye icon, that means once you have completed with your condition, just click on eye icon. And if you want to change, you can click on pencil icon again. If regular temporary value is equal to regular, then what do you want to do? Go click on pencil icon, set, have option set. What do you want to set? I want to set again the field employment type value. I want to set the value of employment type. And what do you want to set it with? Again, this is also drop down value, salaried stuff, right? This one, salaried stuff. Okay, done. If it is regular temporary, you want system to update the employment type to salaried stuff. Save. My business rule is done. Now, will it go and update for all the employees for having the regular temporary value as regular? No. We need to tell the system when do you want this business rule to be updated? When do you want the business rule to trigger and update the job information of the employee? So we need to assign the business rule to the portlet. We need to assign this business rule to the respective portlet. So we have chosen the base object as job information, and job information is defined in succession data model or manage business configuration. So we need to assign the business rule either in manage business configuration or in succession data model. Go to manage business configuration. So these are all the portlets. Now go to job information. Search for your job information. Take action. These are the fields of job information. And after fields, we have trigger rules. Have trigger rules. So under trigger rules, we need to assign our rule. Base object we have selected, job information model, this one. And when do you want this business rule to trigger? This is the trigger event. This is event type. Under event type, we need to choose on save. If you want this business rule to save, this business rule to trigger on save of the portlet. On init, as soon as you open the screen, immediately if you want the data to be updated, on init. On view, every time you just go and view the portlet, you want something to be updated, use on view. Save alerts are for alerts. And then post save. If you have any workflows that are triggered after the workflow is approved and after updating the data into the portlet, if you want something to update, so you can use on post save. Now in this case, I want to have my business rule triggered on save of the portlet. Every time you save the portlet, want system to go and check if the value of the regular temporary field is regular, and if it is blank, and if the field is blank, the employment type field is blank, system should go and update. So on save, I'll go and select my business rule, RIL underscore this one. Okay, the rule is enabled. Tomorrow, if you don't want this rule to run, you can just put it as no. Save. Confirm. I've saved my portlet. Now we'll have to go and test. Next step. Come here. Job information. Edit. Now save is not enabled because we have not made any changes here. Okay, first let's go and see regular temporary. This field is blank, so that is fine. I'll go update some field. Okay, somebody has created a field here. Just save it. Okay, I've saved my portlet. You scroll down. What is the employment type now? Updated to salaried staff. While saving the record, system is checking what is the value in this field and is updating the employment type based on the field value that we have here. Okay, clear? Now, what if regular temporary is contractor? I have not defined that condition. I can also define that condition. Make correction. Okay. So here, if it is regular, it is salaried staff. Else if, you can have one more condition, else if. Go select else if. Else if meaning, if it is not regular, you can copy this condition and paste it here instead of typing everything. Instead of regular, I'll go choose temporary. If it is temporary, again, copy this condition, paste this condition here. And instead of contractor, I'll save. Now what happens here is, if you have this value, it will update to this. Else if, otherwise, we'll go and check if the value is this one. So it will update to contracted. Okay. And if it is not having any value, regular or temporary, you can also add else. Now directly you can go update some value, paste. Copy. Paste. What do we want to update? Okay, I'll just put it as salaried. Yes. Save. Now, what does this mean? If you have regular, this would be updated. If you have temporary, this would be updated. Otherwise, it will go and update salaried. Just salaried. If it doesn't have any of these values, it will go and update this one. Else, we are not checking an if condition here. It will go in all the condition, it will go and set the value to say salaried. If it is not this one and this one. Now, if I go to employee, if I select this employee, type as regular temporary as contractor temporary. Okay. Now here we have salaried staff. Go save it. See, this is changed to contractor pay. It's changed to contractor pay. Now instead of salaried staff, instead of regular or temporary, I will not choose anything here. Just I'll leave it blank. Now this is updated to salaried. Now this is defaulting the field value based on some conditions. Any doubts here? Yes? No?
No.
No doubt. Okay, we'll save it. Now, we'll see one more business rule. Okay, now I want to update compensation information. Okay, let's see one more defaulting rule in compensation. We'll see what fields we have. Let me see what values we have for. Okay. Now for all a pay group, if pay group is N6, I want is eligible for benefit and car to set to yes. If the pay group is selected as N6, I want this field and this field to be updated to yes. So firstly, the base object should be comp info model. If then he is eligible for benefit is equal to yes. And then when do you want this? If pay group is equal to N6. If pay group is equal to N6. This should be set to yes. And this should be set to yes. Okay. These two fields are to be set to yes when you have pay group value as N6. Okay. I'll not update this now. I'll go write a business rule. Business rule, new business rule, create employee central core on save of HRS elements. Put RIL comp information. Okay, base object is search for comp. Compensation information model. Continue. Now, because we have selected compensation information model, you will see all the fields of comp information. What is our condition? If pay group value is equal to N6. Okay, so this condition is done. Then I want to set. What do you want to set? I want to set is eligible for benefit to This is a Boolean. Boolean will have values yes or no. Yes. And I want to add one more condition. Go add expression here. Go set he is eligible for car. Value to be equal to yes. Okay. Save. Simple. If pay group value is equal to N6, I want these two values to be set to yes. Again, you need to go and assign this business rule in respective portlet. So comp information, go to comp information. Take action, make correction, scroll down. This is comp information model. The base object we have selected is comp information model. On save, then you have save. Now my business rule is assigned. You'll have to go and test it. Go, edit. Come here. Select pay group as N6. Now it is no and no, right? Save. Job level field, someone has made it mandatory. Let me see, where is it? Okay. See, some stupids have made it visible, and we'll go here, make correction, Control F, and look for job level. Okay. I don't want this field. Okay, so this is fine. Save. Cannot have a field visible and mandatory. Only visible and view and mandatory. Okay. So I go here, cancel, don't save, edit. Pay group N6. Okay, save. Now, you see, he is eligible for benefit and car is set to yes. Now, I want this business rule to be updated immediately when we are selecting a field. Say, I want he is eligible for benefit and he is eligible for car should be set to yes immediately after selecting the pay group. Now, it is updating, but it is updating after saving the record. Now, user might go and change the values manually. Okay, user might go select the value pay group and select these values manually. So if I go select here, I don't know, as a user, I see that this is set to no, so I'll go and manually select. But I don't want that to happen. I want to reduce the number of clicks. As soon as you select pay group, I want these two to be updated. So the same business rule, if you apply it on the field, if I go here, take action, what is that field? Pay group. You go to pay group, details, scroll down to the end, you have trigger rules option here, and select your business rule, comp information model. And event type here we have is on change. On the field, it is only on change. If you change the field value, then system should execute this business rule. I go here, select this rule, apply this business rule on save of the port, on change of the field value. Okay. Because we have it here also. Save. Oh, okay, sorry. What I did is you have created it as on change rule, right? So that's why it is on save rule. That's why it is not allowing. Earlier, before this release, we were using the same business rule. I think now it is not allowing. So let's do one thing. I'll create similar business rule, create new rule, employee central core, have on change rules. Okay. RIL comp pay group. Okay. Comp information model. Continue. If pay group value is equal to N6. Okay. I want to set. What do you want to set? Is eligible for benefit value to be equal to yes. And one more expression, set is eligible for car value to be equal to yes. Conditions are done. Save. Go to manage business configuration. On the pay group details, comp information model, on change. Okay, done. Save. Okay, so this is done. Now let's go and check here. Cancel this. Edit. You go select N6. So before selecting the value, we have no and no here. You go select N6. You see automatically these values got updated. So yes. Okay. Clear? On defaulting the field value. Any doubts here? Okay. I'll take silence as no. Maybe I'll save it. Now we'll look at different type of. If I go here, personal information. Correction. Within personal information, we have the salutation value. Okay. So this is this. Suffix is not required, salutation is required. Okay. Marital status. This is also okay. Okay. And this is. Now I have enabled some fields here. What did I enable? I have enabled marital status field. Okay. And I've also enabled the salutation field. Salutation has got values Mr., Miss, and so on. Okay. I've enabled salutation. I've enabled the marital status field, these two fields. Okay. Now, as soon as we enable, will this show up in the people profile? No, these will not show up. We need to grant permission. Who should see that field and who should edit that field? Always, whenever you enable fields in manage business configuration or in succession data model, you need to go and update the permissions as well. Who should see or who should edit? And since the personal information is an effective dated portlet, it is a effective dated portlet. So you will find the fields of effective dated portlet under user permissions, employee central effective dated entities. Okay, I'll go here, permissions and employee central effective dated entities. You see here salutation, this is not enabled because we have just enabled this field. I'll just grant permissions and to done. Okay, save changes. I've enabled two fields and have granted the permissions as well. Now, if I go to this employee, any employee, refresh, reload. Okay, so go here. Take some time to enable that field. Okay, salutation here, marital status. Here. Okay. Nationality, preferred language, date of birth, religion. So this is fine. Okay, I'm adjusting the fields. Where do you want to show up? I want in the first line, I want to show first name, last name, full name, gender and salutation together, marital status and marital status since together, nationality, preferred language, date of birth and religion together. Okay, save this. Now I go back to some other employee. So if you see here, it is not enabled. Now let me do one thing. Proxy. Still those fields are not showing up. Let me do one thing. Salutation field. Where is this one? Visibility is edit. This is fine. And marital status. Visibility is edit. So this is fine. So it might take some time to update. Okay, if it is not showing up, I will try to have a different rule. Okay. No, it is not showing up. So it might take some time for updating the field. It's enabling the field. So meanwhile, I'll go and add or create some other business rule. I'll go to existing fields, comp information. And what should be the pay range value? Range penetration value should be between 0 to 100. So for this employee, this is fine. I'll go to president. So this is also fine. I'll go to director. Compensation. This case, what is the range penetration? It is showing as minus 38 degrees, minus 38%. This is not correct. Why? As per this employee's grade, this employee should be between 40 lakhs to 50 lakhs salary. But we have read only 36 lakhs. We have granted only 36 lakhs. System should not allow us to input if the range penetration is less than 0 or greater than 100. System should not allow if the range penetration is less than 0 or greater than 100. So I want to control it through business rule. Okay, so I want to write a business rule to give a warning message to the user while saving the record if they are they are updating the compensation information with range penetration less than 0 or greater than 100, system should give an error. So what error you want to have? I want to have one error message. Okay, so error message should be range penetration cannot have value less than, or range penetration value should be between 0 to 100. Range penetration value should be between 0 to 100. And when do you want this message to pop up? I want this message to pop up comp info model if, then if range penetration is less than 0. I want one more condition as well. Is greater than 100. These two conditions. Okay, these two conditions. I want to raise message. Okay, now I'm validating the data. If it has got this value, then system should raise a message. Okay, so first creating a message, we need to go to manage data. Go to manage data. In manage data, you create a message. So go search for message definition. What is the text that you want to display? This is the text I want to have. Range penetration value should be between 0 to 100. External code RP. RP validation. Okay. Name and external code. Just leave it. Save. This is the message I want to display. Now I want to use this message in my business rule. Go to business rule. Configure business rules. Create new rule. Employee central core. Now see if we have validate. Okay, this is on save. Okay. On view, off cycle, on change, cross entity, post save, full time, validate HRS element. Have validate HRS elements. You can use this scenario to create rules that validates HRS elements and display messages. You see this one. Go write the name of the rule, RAL, RP, validation. Give some name. Okay. Comp information model. Compensation information model. Continue. When do you want? If range penetration value, because range penetration is a decimal value, you see here equal to, less than, equal to, greater than, or equal to, you have these options. If it is less than decimal 0, if it is less than 0, or one more condition, one more expression. When you are adding one more expression, it will ask you to choose the logical condition, either or and. You cannot have both the conditions, 0, less than 0 and greater than 100. No, either less than 0 or greater than 0. So, or. So when you select the logical condition, system joins both the expressions with that logical condition. And if range penetration value is greater than, if it is greater than 100. If it is less than 0 or greater than 100, I want to raise message. Now, then you have only raise message. What message you want to have? I want to have RP message. This one. And what is the message? Range penetration value should be between 0 to 100. Severity, you have options: information, warning, error. Error will not allow you to save the record. It gives you message. Warning allows you to save, or it asks you to change. You have two options: go correct the value or proceed without correcting the value. If you want a warning message, it allows you to proceed or correct. Error will not allow you to proceed. It will ask you to correct. Information will just pop up after saving the record. Okay, so I want this to be an error message. I need to assign this business rule, the comp information portlet. So go comp info, take action, make correction, scroll down to the end, comp information model, on save of the portlet. I want my range penetration to be validated. Okay, now you go back. History, edit. Okay, so the value is less than this one. I'll just put save. What does it say? Range penetration value should be between 0 to 100. And this is error message. This icon, it says this is error message. Now I don't want error message, I want warning message. Here, instead of error, set it to warning. Save. Go back. Now you save it. This is warning message. Earlier it was an error message. Now it is a warning message. Now you have two options. Either you go correct it, okay, or you proceed. Correct, it takes you to the screen. If I say proceed, it saves the record without any validation. Clear? on validation? Yes or no? Now we'll do one more validation in job information. Go to job information. Do one validation in job information. Have this contract type. Okay, pay scale type. Okay, now I'll have a validation for pay scale type. Okay. Now for employees of Reliance, so my company is 8800. Okay. Now for my employees, if people are trying to update, let's say, I don't want to update this field for these company employees, pay scale type. If company is equal to Reliance, I don't want pay scale type to be updated with any value. Okay. If I'm choosing this, I want system to validate and tell me that you cannot have the pay scale type selected for this company. Okay, so I want that validation. And base object should be here. Job information model. If then if company is equal to 8800. And one more condition. When do you want that error message? I want that error message to pop up only if user has selected some value. Pay scale type. Pay scale type is not blank. If it is blank, that is fine. I don't want any message. But if it is not blank, blank is blank or null. We use the word null here in business rules. If it is not blank, then I want error message. What message you want to have? So type some message. Pay scale type cannot have value for employees of Reliance Industries. Okay, I want this message. Okay, just copy this. How to manage data? Message definition. Now, instead of selecting the Reliance Industries here, I will put some value. I want system to bring up the company value. If I want system to update this value, whatever company that I have for that employee, I want that value to be updated here. Okay, employees of company, this one. Okay, external code, I'll say RIL valid, RIL validation. Now this field, okay, what do you want system to get the value? I've selected here value, right? Okay. Parameters. You have something called parameters. Now these parameters can be used for a string, for a number, for a decimal, Boolean, date, date time, and time field. Yes, I want to use it for string. What value you want to have, whatever that you have set here, just add that value here. Now I want system to go and bring the value from screen and update that here. Okay, so I'll go and write a business rule. Create new rule. Employee Central Core. I want to validate, right? There is a trigger workflows, validate HRS elements. Name, RIL, job info, validation. Job information. Continue. If company value is equal to 8800. And one more condition. Add one more expression. When you're adding expression, either you can choose or end. End. And pay scale type value is not equal to null. Null can be selected from here, the bottom. If the company is 8800 and the pay scale type is not null, that means it is blank. If it is not blank, then I want to raise message. What message you want to have? RIL validation. Okay. What text you want to use here? Text, I want to have the company value. Okay, so it is not taking. This is not a text field, so it is not picking up that value. Let me do one thing. It's not a string value. You need to have string. That's a generic object, right? So we should have a string. Okay. Now this field, I'll take this field. Here, I'll change the message a bit. Pay scale type cannot have value for employees of company 8800 and should not have text in this field. In which field is it? This field. Okay, let's add this. Save. Okay, now I go here. Okay. It says pay scale type cannot have value for employees of company 8800 and should not have value in this field. Okay, what value should not have? Subdivision value. This one, this is a text field, so you can have the value in it. Save. Sorry, severity, error message. Save. Now I'll go to manage business configuration. Go to job information. Take action, make correction. Job information model. On save. Or let me do one thing. I'll have it on the field itself, pay scale type. Okay, pay scale type. Job information model. Change this value. Let me check if it takes. Then save. Okay, confirm. How we go to this employee? Save. Edit. Okay, I'll select some value here, pay scale type, some department. Okay. So it has not triggered our business rule. Double 800. Okay, let me save. Configuration, manage business configuration. If it is not triggering, next session we'll see why it is not triggering. So how do we validate if business rule is triggering or not? That would be an example for it. Real validation. Okay, I go here to employee, add to the employee, edit. Try to save. It is triggering the value. Says pay scale type cannot have value for employees of company 8800 and should not have test one. What is the value that we put here in this field? Test one. Whatever field value that we have, and if you want that value to be displayed in the field, in the message, you can write them in the brackets. Put them in the brackets and add the parameter. If it is a string field, add it as a string. If it is a decimal field, add it as a decimal. If it is a number field, add it as a number field. Okay? Clear? Thank you all. Have a great weekend. I want all of you to practice this business rule. The more you need to practice a lot on business rule. You have to practice a lot on business rules. The more number of rules that you practice, you'll get that many. You'll get used to these business rules. Looks like simple, but when you actually do it in the system, you'll feel that pain. Okay? Yeah. We'll catch up on Monday.